think that's my dad. Hi, Dad. So we'll wait for people to pour in for the next few moments. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Did you hear the renaming situation? We're both called Rivka.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you want to? If you go out and come back in, it'll probably fix that up.
I came in through my link.
People's Republic of Shenley. That's my dad. The people.
You put the same link twice. That's why.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, so once I'll send you. It's not like me to make a stupid mistake like that.
To remind us that we're all human. Makes everyone else feel better.
No, I always make stupid mistakes like that. That was a joke. 1 second. I'll send you the link right now.
Thanks.
You should have that. And we'll wait for a few more people to come in. Okay. Rivka left the... Well, okay. Welcome, everyone. Again. Brooklyn, London. My dad and the People's Republic of Shenley. Yep. And what a republic it is. Not that many people, though. Okay. Hi, Rivka. Naaman. Miriam. Naomi. Bleemy. Leah. Ayala. Gila. Okay. Toronto. Jerusalem. Yep. Hi, Shayna. Shoshana Beit Shemesh. Great. The regular... Hi, Hanshi from Lakewood. We've got the regular crew here. Helen from New York. Hi, Helen. It's great. It's like, I don't know really what anyone looks like, but I know the names, so. Okay. I'm going to start off with a joke. I had a joke. Wait, is Yocheved there? Yocheved, you here?
I'm back to myself.
Oh, okay, you're good. So I'll tell you a joke that my friend told me the other day. I thought it was really funny that they opened up this restaurant in New York, like a really fancy top level restaurant. And the thing was, there was no menu. You could ask for whatever you wanted. And wow. The deal was that if they couldn't make it for you, they'd give you $200. That was the thing. So this guy walks in, he comes and he sits down, they come up with the thing, and he said, I would like an elephant burger on rye with some fries. She writes, and they go off, and there's a big commotion in the kitchen, whatever, banging, smashing, crashing. And a while later, the owner comes out all dejected, mummish with his head down, and he pulls out a $100 bill, he slams it on the table, pulls out another $100 bill, slams it on the table, and he says, this is the first time we ever ran out of rye. I thought that was fantastic. That's one of the lackings of the internet. Is I don't know. I'm just going to people like falling off their chairs. I was talking to my dad the other day.
You could put like laughing faces in the chat box at least.
I was thinking like if Hashem's infinite and he can do everything like infinitely, then he could also crack an infinite joke. Imagine a joke so funny that you wouldn't be able to stop laughing forever. Imagine that.
There's a joke like that about the guy who told the joke was so funny that the fellow died laughing. So they arrested him for manslaughter. So he said, it's not my fault. It was my joke. It was too funny. So he said, oh, yeah, tell us the jokes. He said, I can't. You'll all die laughing. So the judge made him sign a form saying that if I die laughing, you'll tell me privately. If I die laughing, you're let off. So he tells him the joke in a private room and he dies laughing. Anyway, 2 weeks later, there's a notice in the newspaper. Irishman dies.
Irishman dies. Well, he told himself the joke.
He was I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. An Irishman hid in the cupboard. Sorry. An Irishman hid in the cupboard to hear the joke.
And he got it
2 weeks later. There's a sorry, I messed up. Sorry.
Okay. Enough fun and games. Let's get down to business. Okay. Very good. Let's start with the little joke. So, okay. 1 minute. Let me just share my screen. And can everyone see that?
I can.
Yeah.
Related laughter popping up on the chat group. Yocheved is really choppy. It's usually your do you find me choppy?
Do I find you choppy?
Yeah.
Can people hear? I don't know. It's okay. Can you mix them? Oh, can I mix the pictures?
Next order.
Okay.
You can sort by like date taken or something.
I'm just gonna do like this so everyone can see that I don't have, but we will try and get through all the pictures as always. We really will. I'm just gonna, and one last try, and one little bit more, and just for the fun of it. Okay, good. Okay, just to go, I've got a couple of transformations that we're going to show quickly. So we'll start with Shira Klugerman. We have, by the way, I don't know if it was clear, but we have a 60-minute. The truth is, it's actually a bit of a lie because I couldn't work it out on the software to start the. You can't really start the what's it called, the promotion at a certain time. So it's begun. It will end exactly like just about 3 hours from now. But it has begun. It's a 50% off. We're not really doing that anymore at all, but we are doing it this one time for like 60 minutes, whatever. So what's the thingy? What's the
promo code?
Oh, here it is. I'm gonna.
I think it was half price for an hour or something.
Yeah, is that? Let's just put that up, and then everyone can see half price for 1 hour. So please, Trevor, if you, most of you anyway are already enrolled or whatever, you've done the course. So if you could just like send out some emails or whatever, call some people and tell them to hop around, that would be great. Okay, otherwise let's just look at these couple of these quick transformations. So this is Shira Klugerman. So began very basic at the beginning of the course. You know, obviously no understanding of really anything technically. You can see that she's already a little bit conscious of space, etc. Here you can see not understanding light, not really understanding light, but getting really conscious of space. This is probably the second class, and this is probably the second or third class. And now again, still conscious of space, getting a little more conscious of light, etc. And going forward, getting more conscious of light, starting to work out the technicalities of posing, etc. And now there's there's always that kind of jump that our students have at some point, and you can see it kind of happened here.
Something clicked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, I actually know what to do now.
That's something clicked. That was a good one. So and then onward, now really getting clear on light, and now getting to grips with the actual technicalities of the photography. Really now completely in a whole different world. Now just taking really very beautiful pictures. So very, very well done, Shira. Big thumbs up. Look at these pictures, wonderful. And also now moving forward in the editing as well. Really, really wonderful. That's a great transformation, Shira. Well done. And Razy. Okay, so again, you can see a basic, or not a basic, a natural sensitivity to the balance and the energies of the image, but just no tools really to kind of, you know, express your sensitivities. But again, getting clear on directions and tensions and balance. And now I think this was the second class. Really, this was a big step up. Finding really good deep locations.
That's the field. Beautiful.
Yeah, with lovely colors and lovely textures, and again a lovely balance moving in this direction. Really good. Okay, starting to get really tight with like precision, which is a big part of photography. It really does pay to be absolutely I don't want to say the word I'm thinking of saying, but to be precise. Thank you. Yeah, very, very precise. Really, really does pay in photography. Nice and neat and tidy, and getting to grips with light, with posing. finding good backgrounds, and now moving forward with understanding things technically to be able to take pictures like this, which are more technically challenging. Lovely composition, beautiful light, really well done. And now moving, like, although this picture doesn't give you the wow effect like this so much, but this is a much more difficult picture than this picture. To take a nice picture of a little boy like this is not so difficult, but to take a picture of a family of 7 with little kids is not straightforward. It's not easy, and that's really good. Okay, good again. You know, understanding, getting further technically as well. This is really nice. Using good perspective here, very powerful, excellent. And again, I'll probably switch the big boy around with the girl here, but otherwise, again, really well done. And this too, very well done, Lazy. Really nice. Absolutely fantastic. And then Esty. So Esty spent a long time on her. I wonder if we can do this 1 second. So these are a bit kind of jumbled up, I think. But I think we can see. I think these ones go over here. And these ones over here. Something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but something like that. I remember these were from the beginning. So this was just one of the
homeworks.
Okay. One of the assignments, which was pattern, which just immediately from this picture, I could see that she had a real sensitivity to the image. I could see that it was really we're going to be in for a real transformation here. This is good. This is lovely. You know, really paying attention to the space in the image. Some lovely posing. She also found good light. Again, this is right at the beginning, so really well done. This is also at the beginning. Again, like you can see, she's got a basic understanding of light, but not understanding, you know, anything about background, or her mind wasn't at this point able to stretch that far to be thinking about light and the background, etc. But now we can see moving forward. I think this is probably the same homework again. Paying attention to the light. Background is like, it's okay, but nothing really to write home about. Now moving forward, good with the light, good with composition. Okay, this is cute posing as well. Again, background is she's like got, you know, made good use of this colourful area over here.
She knew she wanted it in.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. And we've got these lovely, powerful lines over here. It just doesn't really, you know, it's just not the right. I would be thinking either go for a complete urban look or try and cash in on the colors and the textures like 100%. That's what I'd be thinking. But this is now beautiful, lovely light, beautiful composition. Stats are looking really good as well. She's shooting in shutter quality, so it's still at the beginning of the course, with a basic camera. Okay, also very nicely done. Okay, now this is really cute. These are lovely. Now
that's lovely. Wow.
She's in aperture priority right now. Okay, and now getting really good with the stats. The stats are good. It's a little bit dark to be taking the pictures. 100th of a second is always a little dangerous. You can see she got stung by that. But really good attention to the energies in the image, good attention to the depth, to all the textures, to the colors, to the balance. That's really well done. And now she left us for like, I don't know how long it was, but you can see she got a new camera. And I don't think she had uploaded her homework for quite a while. And she'd done some Photoshop course with another teacher somewhere, and now we can see that the quality just exploded, literally exploded. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, this was from earlier. Okay, but now just look at this. The quality of the photography, really stunning, really stunning.
Wow.
Yeah. Well done, Esty. You smashed it. Okay, well done, everyone. Esty, Razy, Share, and all the other students who are going from strength to strength, as always. Okay, let's jump in. Okay, Chaya. Stats 1.8 with a full frame camera with a composition like that is dangerous. In fact, in my opinion, that is a mistake, but you completely got away with it. Okay. You did completely get away with it, but I would be shooting this picture at 2.5, probably maybe 2.8. I'd be using a high ISO with a 16 Mark II. You can use a much higher ISO without any problem. Shutter speed's great. Composition's very good. This looks like, you know, classic diamond composition. Very tight with the hands here. This hand is very well placed as well. Mum facing into the boy over here. This is good. You could maybe get an interaction between them two. Put her hand around here or something, or get him to have his hand on, I don't know if that's mum or whatever, whoever that is. But really tight, close posing with also this lovely line coming along here as well and coming back here. It's really, really well done. You can see that you weren't in like a really special place, but you really you did really, really well. This is the mark of a very talented photographer. Well done, well done. Okay, okay, Julia, good. At least you've cropped in really nicely. That's good. Definitely could push a little bit further in Lightroom, open up the shadows here. I wouldn't also have cropped the top of the head off like that, but I do appreciate how close in we are. Stats are, I mean, I don't know what kind of what aperture your camera can go to, but you definitely want to be using a wider aperture than that. Shutter priority is not a good idea. What do we think? Has anybody got a reason why it would make sense to shoot in shutter priority? We're talking about portrait photography. Has anybody got? I can't think of one reason to shoot in shutter priority. You could think of a reason?
Not offhand.
No. So the only way I see is either you're shooting on AV or whatever camera you either aperture priority or manual. But I literally can't think of a reason why for portrait photography you would.
When would you go into shutter priority over manual?
I wouldn't. I never. I just wouldn't.
When would a learner sort of do that?
I mean, maybe. Sorry.
Like, why would somebody fall back into that?
No, like some people just don't. You know, some people just do funny stuff. Right? But I mean, I think shutter priority for like landscape photography, when you really want to get a long exposure for some water or something, and you're gonna give yourself a 10-second exposure, and then you want the camera to work out everything else. That would make sense. Or also,
even at that point, you could work out everything else yourself. Quite not so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you could do everything in manual.
You don't need the camera, right?
But in portrait photography, there really is no reason to go into TV. But anyway, overall, nice picture. I like the expression. You did well with the focus, so well done, Julia. Okay, Hanny, this is great. Sweet. This is lovely. You've done a really lovely Photoshop job here. It's really nice and seamless. Lovely seamless white background, which is not very easy to do, and you've done really well here. Just overall very well done. The focus is good. Nice clean light. It's very flat, which is not really a problem for this picture. I'm always trying to get a little bit more of a formed light, but still well done. So good stuff, Hanny. That's great. Okay, who's this? Chaya. This is cute. A couple of issues. The first issue, well, the pose doesn't go with him. The pose is too feminine. But this hand chopped off here is very distracting. Now watch this. This is a really important thing that we're going to see right now. We see that this hand, everyone agrees. Can everybody just give me a big heads up if they agree with me that hand here is distracting? Okay, we'll wait for a moment for everyone to agree with me. That's a joke. I'm hoping you will. But anyway, so look at this. This is really interesting because the way the composition works here is it goes like this and back. So our eye hits here. Now watch this. Watch this. Does anyone know what I'm going to do? Does anybody know how we can? Yeah. You know what we're going to do? Yeah. What are we going to do that's going to what's the word? Not dissipate. That's not the right word. Like dissolve.
Distract.
to not
remove the problem.
dampen. Like what can we do? What will I do that will completely reduce the annoyingness of that effect?
Shani Rotenberg says cropping close to the head.
Absolutely.
Normie says cropping until a little below the other hand.
So what that was the first, like,
both
the first
sides.
one. If we crop in at the top of the head, now watch this. Do you see how much that has dissolved that annoyingness? It's not gone 100%, but about 90%. Why? What happened?
And if you'd crop it in the middle of the arm, as some people are asking,
meaning
even closer in.
Well, you could do
not
that.
At a join.
If you went like that, that would be okay-ish, but not. That's okay, but still. What is it? It's a really important thing to understand this. What happened? Why is it that when we went like that, we completely reduced the annoyingness of that hand? Anyone got an answer? Any answers?
My chat shows up a second late.
No, everyone's quiet.
They'll come. I think the chat window is a second delayed, a few seconds.
Yeah,
delayed.
No, it is. But anyway, eyes mark. It's more balanced. Balance. Nope. Because your eyes are drawn to the top. Thank you, Leia. His head is close to the top, so the eyes drawn down, not drawn down as much. Yeah. So I think basically what you're saying is true. But what really happens is because we made his face so much bigger, now our eye doesn't go all the way down here like people were saying. So now the composition becomes more like this. You with me?
Yeah.
And our eye is paying less attention to that area there.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't bother as much as when the picture's like this.
Amazing.
Really important thing to know. Anyway, Thank you, Haya, for explaining that to us, taking a picture that allowed us to explain that. Well done. Onward. Okay, Avrami Shapiro. Good. Needs to be brighter. Not the edit is not that successful. We can even fix it up in Picasso. Look at the difference. That just made the world of difference. Okay. Very important. A lot of people do that when they edit. Is the picture goes too low dynamic range, like too dark and just a bit nasty. So make sure to
I think
keep the light on.
if you by mistake stick with the automatic black and white without editing it yourself, then you can be left with a bit of a mess. But Lightroom says that's black and white, so it must be good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, black and white. As we learn in the
don't stick with the automatic preset.
Yeah, the black and white. The beginning of the process is clicking black and white, but that's about 5% of the actual game. Yeah, you're right, 100%. But I actually like the energy. There's a lot of power here because we've got energy moving this way, and then we've got the face moving in this direction. So it's a real feast.
It really works, though. Yeah,
it really does work. Absolutely, agreed, 100%. So well done, Avrami. Okay, that is beautiful.
Is that butterfly natural?
I don't think so. In fact, no, it is not. Nope, but it's really nice. But if you're going to put a butterfly in, put something like, make it, I would think to do like some bright pink thing or something like that.
Stick out more.
Maybe.
I don't know. Sweet. I like the white.
But the actual, you like that?
So it's peaceful. It's nice and white.
It looks like she's going to sit the butterfly. She's going to try and kind of smash it.
No, it looks like she's opened her hands and it flew off.
Oh yeah, okay. You could say it like that. I was thinking like more kind of sadistically, but anyway. Otherwise, beautiful. We haven't got the stats here, but it looks good. Is it sharp? Relatively sharp enough. Not a really nice Photoshop job. Lovely background, lovely energy here, lovely textures, lovely depth, lovely separation between subject and background. It looks like you've done some funkiness a little bit. So you can see that little, like, I don't know what you did, but it's a little bit rough, but it's fine. Remember, Photoshop is all about a balance between quality and speed, okay? We've got a lovely energy moving in this direction, perfect amount of space over here. Really well done, Frady. Good stuff. Onward. Hi, Dina. That's a little bit like aggressive, in my opinion. It looks like you did it in Picasso, but I'm not sure if you did. But I think it's too big a black. The mass of black is too much. So any picture with so much black is you're going to have a very difficult time making a great shot out of that. But I do appreciate the shape that you've created and the color in the background. It's a very kind of psychedelic.
So you'd have them smaller over here and then much bigger.
Yeah, you can't to have such a mass of black in an image is going to be very difficult to deal with, to create something attractive out of it. But your mind was in the right place, Dina, in regards to the shape. That's very good. But just probably to have a little bit more color and texture, etc. But otherwise, well done. Okay, that's great. Who's that? Pearl. That's really nicely done. I think I would crop in a little bit, something like this. I'd crop in like that. This white line or whatever that is. I think that's fine. I think this is a nice enough texture. It's not ugly. I mean, it's not like wow, but it's actually got quite a nice kind of like magical feel to it, if you could say such a thing. This texture over here, and then these gorgeous little faces. I should have said this first and then that. But lovely energy moving downwards. Okay, remember the eye is lazy generally, just like every other part of us. So it basically gravitates down. This hand is good movement. Pardon me, going inwards as well. This shape is echoed by that shape, which is nice. Lovely, really good shot. Well done, Pearl. Okay, who's this? S. Halpern. Okay, this is not an acceptable background. If you just probably turn them around and got some green in the background, it'd be a whole different thing. The actual pose is beautiful. What I would want to do here probably is I would think about cropping in really tight. Remember, cropping in tight gives you the two eyes. Does anybody remember what the two eyes are? Also aggressive vignette. What are the two eyes? It gives you the cropping in tight. Gives you the two eyes, which are. Don't say Yehovah. Let's just see.
I'm just motioning my two eyes.
Exactly, the two eyes. Or it's just how long the.
It also makes the background more subtle.
Intimacy and intensity. Very good. L. Intimacy.
It takes away a little bit of the horribleness of the background when you're so.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
no, I mean we got.
It's just
100%. We really did that. That made.
They wanted this background, says Sarah.
Oh yeah. So if that was the case, I would say, I always throw out these words, and these words are fantastically powerful words. What?
They wanted a red door.
So I would say. And this is it was worth coming to just for this little thing that I'm going to say now, it's worth coming to the webinar. The words "in my experience" are worth gold. It really makes a big difference. So if somebody says, I want the red garage door in the background, you say, look, we could do that. That's fine. But in my experience, that kind of like with that color and that texture, etc., it's not going to work. It's not going to be a nice picture. Those words, in my experience, really register with people. They really do. Okay, who's this? Gila. This is nice. A little bit overexposed. This picture would definitely be the best shot in RAW. I would also probably think about cropping in. I might even be tempted to chop off a little bit. Maybe crop like that. Yeah, I think 1 minute. I think I'll go like that. Just chopping off a little bit of the head. This is obviously a picture of the two girls, and as it was before, it was just too much. They were just too small, in my opinion. So I think cropping in like that. But then you'd really want to try and bring back a little bit of the detail on his shirt if you could. But I think the edit is nice. The light is beautiful. So well done, Gila. Good stuff. That's beautiful. That's very sensitive. She's got a little tear in her eye, which is very cute. Stats are great. Okay. Energy is lovely. Lovely energy moving in this direction. Lovely warm background. Could soften her face a little bit. Maybe let's take this one into Lightroom quickly and soften her. Just do a quick skin soften to show everyone what to do. It's quite straightforward, but Why not? Okay. So to zoom in, and then skin softening, we'll go to the selector, we'll go to brush, go to auto mask. We drop the texture down by -50 and clarity by -25 or something close to that. And then we can just massage off. This will make a big difference. And also this kind of runny nose as well. Very important when you're doing this, as everyone knows, or everyone who's in the masterclass knows anyway, is do not go over any lines, okay? Really, meaning that she doesn't really have labial lines. These lines here are called labial lines. She doesn't really have them, so that's okay. But don't go over the nostrils. Don't go over the eyes or the mouth, etc. The lines underneath the eyes. That's you can do that a little bit, but the more you compromise the lines, the more you compromise the reality, the realness of the picture. It becomes kind of tinny and artificial. But here we can soften that a little bit more. I'm going to raise up the exposure a drop as well. And then I'm also just going to do her eyes quickly. As we know, that is always the king. Go to Iris Enhance Ultra. Even though it's a little bit soft, it's not a disaster. And we can do this. I haven't been too careful there, so we can just erase that by going over there and just getting off the bit that I went over. Okay, and let's zoom out. Let's just have a look at that. Very simple. I'm just putting a quick vignette as always. And I'm just going to crop a little bit as well. And we went from here to here.
Leah's really grateful. She wanted to know how to do that. So.
Sorry?
Leah's really grateful you just did that with her picture because she wanted to know what to do.
Okay, so look at that, just very quick. That's the kind of difference that we want to do in Lightroom. And if I was doing that by myself, a very important thing to realize, if you're doing it by yourself, you really don't need to be spending more than like 30 seconds on a picture in Lightroom. You really don't. Very important. Okay.
Wow, we see this bridge a lot.
Sorry?
We see this bridge a lot. Now that people have seen it, they're being more careful about staying in the center.
Yeah, absolutely. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous light as well. That's really lucky. The light's coming in the right direction. You've really nailed the symmetry of the picture. Loads of lovely energy. Stats are not that good for this picture. 200, 2.5, 500 of a second. Although you got away with it fine. You did fine, but I would really want to be getting to a 1,000th of a second. But that's really well done, Hindi. You really did well there. So that's a difficult shot to pull off, and you did really well. Excellent. Big thumbs up. Onward. That's gorgeous. Shoshana Hershkowitz. That's really beautiful. It could be brightened up a little bit. She needs to be a bit brighter. But it's not really bad because you're using such a wide aperture. 5D Mark III with a 50mm lens. So you've got 1.8, so it's okay. But ideally, you'd want to be getting, you don't want that in your picture. It's not like it ruined the picture, but it shouldn't really be there, if you get what I mean. Maybe also this could be quite nice if we cropped in like this. No, not like that. 1 minute.
I love that slope in the background. It really added, I felt.
What, there?
There's like a slope line in the background.
What, this?
Yeah. I know. I hear that you have to balance it with the table.
Yeah. I could go with that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking 1 second. We could also... There's a few... I mean, look, basically, I think the size of the picture was great. That could have just been knocked out. But anyway, nice pose, good light, and a decent Photoshop job as well. So well done. Okay. Okay, Nahami, that's great. That's lots of nice energy there. Yeah, stats are okay. 200 ISO is a good idea as opposed to 100 ISO. You've done well with the focus. I'm not sure if that was the actual color or you put in some kind of funky filter over here. I'd imagine you added that in. But good energy. Well done. That's a nice shot, Nahami. Okay. Higher. Okay, this is cute. I think that the coloring here is a problem because of Picasso, not because of I haven't got time to take that into Lightroom, but a lot of times the color in Picasso does not work so well. But I think this kind of picture I would probably zoom out a little bit more. I rarely say that, but with a cute little putchy face like this, with all the greenery and the pinks and stuff like that, I think I'd probably give a little bit more room. Also, we don't really have context because it's this part of the image is so close to the edge. So a little bit more room, but otherwise well done. Okay, that's cute. Esty, a little bit dark. Definitely need to brighten that up. The eyes are a little bit too much. Not particularly sharp. You can see your focus. You missed the focus in the back a little bit. I think that picture is a bit of it could be much more, basically. Esty.
Shift them a little bit to the side and get more of the green in.
I hear that. I'm not so sure if that, because there is an energy. This arm is creating a little bit of an energy that way. His face is completely straight. There is energy moving that way. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Maybe. No, I thought that. I think it really is quite balanced like that, actually. I'm trying to think why that is. Maybe it's to do with the power of this dark energy over here, and then also maybe it's to do with this texture over here, which is more pulling than this over here, and also coupled with this little elbow poking that way as well, with it, which is a very strong contrast over there. So I think all those elements add together to actually balance that picture. Do you know what I'm saying, Kevin?
Yeah, it does look balanced.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It is balanced. Just the question's why. I think that's it's not obvious, but I think it's a lot.
The face is also that the face is straight on. You said
for sure the face is straight on. But I think it's a lot of it is to do with the power of this dark tree stump. Anyway, but basically I think it could go a lot further. That picture. That's gorgeous. That is Perry. That is very, very high quality newborn photography. Beautiful. A beautiful pose. The one little thing. Let's not, Kevin, don't say anything. Let's just throw out a question to everybody. What's the one little thing? Although I think I don't want to detract from how beautiful this picture is. It really is sterling professional newborn photography. What's the one little thing that I think might just add a little bit more of an edge to the picture, just improve it a teeny weeny little bit? Anybody can shout out?
I have to wait till they've all finished schmoozing.
Yeah.
The mouth isn't straight.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay. Yeah.
That is common in baby pictures.
Fabric in the background. That's exactly what I was thinking. Fabric in the background. If this fabric was just moved over to like here or something, as opposed to trailing off the edge of the picture, or I don't even know if you need it in this picture. I think it might even be added if this line was just sharp, basically. But otherwise, the light really is gorgeous, and you've done really well here, Perry. Well done. Well done. Okay, Simi, this is cute. I always remember getting in trouble with a very, very high level photographer. I sent this lady some of my pictures to look at, and one of the pictures I did like a spot color, and she said that's so babyish and whatever. And I didn't really think that personally, but it's like in my head after she said that. But the thing is, when you do have something like this, you have to make sure that the thing that you're making colorful has some kind of relevance. Otherwise, it's just like, well, we'll just have a spot of red in there, you know, might as well just have like a tomato sitting on the floor. Doesn't make any difference. So if it's like someone's holding flowers or something like that, or someone's got a bright shirt, then that's fine. But just to keep the goggles red, not so, don't understand that so much. Also, just a little bit distracting having these people in the background behind the little girl. But other than that, I think the energy on the textures here, it's sharp. Stats need a little bit of work as well, but otherwise well done. Okay, that's great, Hanny, that's really good. I think I would crop in a little bit like that. I don't think we need, sorry to crop off your logo. I don't think we need maybe a little bit more space at the top. There we go. Lovely energy moving in this direction, but then really powerful shape. That's really a lot of real good, powerful energy in that picture. Plus, not to forget these leading lines going all the way back as well, which is great. So well done. That's good stuff. Onward. Family Greenberg. It's cute. I want to see something a little bit more. There's nothing really for me to look at here. I can't see what he's looking at. I can't see his face that much. Graphically, it's okay. Maybe if we crop in a little bit closer, it might add a little bit of power. Something like that. But otherwise, the light's good. Stats are not so great. Definitely be better to have a slightly higher ISO to yourself, a slightly quicker shutter speed. But saying that, you did okay. Actually, no, you didn't. Not really. Okay, but still nice. Okay, that's cute, Malka. Lovely, cropped in beautifully. Stats are okay. Could be a 1.8, but the focus is okay. A little bit forward, but nicely cropped in, nice and bright. Maybe a drop too bright, but very like intimate and close. Lovely pose. Well done. Okay, that's cute. I would be shooting that in a landscape orientation. Yeah. And I would, like I say, I've said a lot of times, is you really want to have your subject to one bit and then the feature in the background not cutting over your subject. So here we've got the subject, and then behind our subject we've got the this feature in the background, as in the fence here, cutting over our subject. So it'd be better if you could maybe move her over this way, and she would be sitting over here, and then you could have the
leading lines drawing you in.
Exactly. So they're not kind of fighting with each other for your attention. Yeah. But also very important is hair on the face. Drive yourself nuts over it. Drive yourself nuts. I know it's annoying, but you can't really fix that. To fix that, like a lot of people think, oh, I'll just fix it in Photoshop. But even one hair in Photoshop is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Let alone lots of hairs. Your heaven's going, it was 100%. Okay, that's a cute shot. Well done, Shayna. Okay, very stylized, but I think that's cool. I would definitely crop something more like that. One thing that I don't like is these lines need to be like bang, like that's the key to these kinds of pictures, especially when everyone's doing something funky. We just need the strongest, most powerful contrasty lines we can have.
So what's wrong here? Shutter speed's quite high.
Yeah, I'm not sure. No, I think it's to do with the edit.
Flare. Oh.
With the way she edited. I don't know what you did.
Meaning she might have taken away the exposure on the people a bit to make them blacker and done it messily around the edges. I
didn't think that. Maybe that's the case.
Might have darkened the exposure with the brush tool.
That probably is the case. I wasn't thinking that at all. I was just thinking she did a general global adjustment, but you're probably right there, Kevin. Probably right. But otherwise, very well done. Okay, that's cute. Sorry, I would definitely crop in a little bit here, making a bit more of a feature. What a gorgeous little boy. I'm assuming it's a little boy.
Cute.
Stats need a little bit of work, but you're in program, that's fine. So I don't know if you're in our school, but you should be. I hope you are. I think you are. But that's very cute. I love the energy moving in this direction from his eyes, then the energy over here, and this line over here with this energy over here just frames the picture very well. So nice one. That's beautiful. Smiles. Is that going to be smiles? Maybe. Okay, just one very important thing here. Look at this line. Okay, please either straight mamash or whack it out the gun ray, but don't just have it a little bit off kilter. Either perfectly straight or whack it out. Okay, but otherwise these big bold shapes are gorgeous and contrasted with this gorgeous little kid in the middle, which is really nicely done. Don't know what camera that is, a Nikon Z6 II. Sounds cool. But yeah, I do like the contrast between the colors and the colors of the gray and the little baby, and plus these very bold shapes, and then the green in the background as well. That really is a cute picture. I might be tempted to crop in a little bit here, to be honest. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeesh for yeesh. Okay, good.
Shmuel, just a heads up, we're at 1:45.
Okay, we'll go a little quicker now. But Esty, this is good. Nice edit. The eyes are a little bit rough, but nicely balanced. Good separation between subject and background. A lovely location here. Well done. Good, maybe a drop less exposure on the face. Well done. That's lovely. Okay, who's that? Hayamushka. Okay. When you're in a place like this, make use of these rocks. Okay. Beautiful place, and we've got lovely light coming from behind. Google Pixel 4a. That's interesting. Look at those stats: 51 ISO, an aperture of 1.7, and a 1/1235th of a second.
If it's taken on a phone, then it might just make up its own stuff.
And at 4.4 millimeters, I'm sure it's taken on a phone. But anyway, yeah, higher. Make use of these rocks. Whenever you've got a rock formation like this, my first thing is get my subject there. Sit them down, rest their arms, put up their legs. You can just get such an interesting, relaxed, natural kind of pose when you're in a place like that. So do try and make sure to make use of that. Okay, but well done.
Shmuel, we had a couple of requests for last minute picture sends in. Is that an option for the second half, or do we have to wait till next time?
Sorry
guys.
Sorry, ladies.
Make sure you get them in time next time.
Yeah. This is okay. Stats are wacky. I'm not quite sure why the stats are like this. Who's this? Naomi. Okay, I would definitely crop here a little bit. I quite like the washed out kind of white, the washed out overexposedness of this picture. I think it goes really well. I think the edit is really nice, actually, to be honest, personally. I think the airiness goes with the shape, with the ball. Yeah. Exactly. Nice and dreamy. Well done. Good stuff. Okay. Pessy, that's cute.
So sweet.
Powerful. I'm not sure what happened to the... Oh, that's the size of the picture. It's very small. I'm not sure what happened there.
Already cropped.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's more to do with something in in her how she exported it or something. I'd probably maybe crop like that as well, but a vignette would help. But the background's gorgeous. The light's really nice. Quality of the picture's a shame. But anyway, okay.
Wow,
so,
cool.
Well, that's great. That's really nice and powerful. Oh, is that
Yeah, that's my nephew, Yitzi.
What is that though?
It looks like somebody jumping. No,
but is that water?
No, it's the sky. I would have thought that's the sky. Yitzi, is it the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome clouds in England.
Yeah.
You've been here too long.
Yeah, thank God. But anyway, it's great. It's a very powerful picture, well edited. I love, you did really well. Lucky to get the sun between his legs there. Great shape as well. These kinds of pictures are all dependent on the shape. You've added loads of clarity and contrast. You've got the subject, the energy of the subject really matches the energy of the background. Plus,
so many textures and stuff going on. Yeah,
these two powerful lines They add a lot. They really make a big difference. So that's really good stuff, Sorel. Big thumbs up. Okay, that's cute, Shiffy. That is really cute. I would crop off a little bit from the right side. Just a drop. Maybe a little bit underneath as well. Quite like that, but that's really nicely done. Lovely, lovely soft light. Got a big softbox umbrella, it looks like. Gorgeous clean light. Cute little prop there. Really well done. That's a really lovely, strong shot. Well done, Shiffy. Okay. Oh, great. The cake smash from Ahuva. I'm really not a fan of cake smashing. I'm a big fan of cake eating. But anyway, so this ball over here is a little bit distracting. And the light is okay, but yeah, that ball's a little distracting. And maybe if she was turned in this way, it would to go with the cake, make a bit more of a feature of the cake. I'd probably be getting in really close, having the cake like really in the foreground and her in the background, maybe even focus on the cake and have her like in the background, and then you won't see all the schmutz on her face as well. That's just my own personal thing. Okay, I don't know who this is. But see, this kind of picture is not there's too much space all around, and I think what I would want to do, I would want these three kids here closer to each other, like maybe over here, and then mum and dad over there. Some but having the three kids over here, as opposed to like you've basically just got so much empty space in this picture. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a bit like, just a bit annoying.
Yeah,
there
losing the energy and the focus.
Yeah, there's so much space just that gets lost. There was one second. There was a shoot that I did. I can just show you quickly. I've forgotten that name. I'm not going to be able to find the pictures now. But anyway, okay. Okay. Oh, this is Chaim. Well done, Chaim. This is nice. I would crop in a little bit. He looks like you. I'm sure that's your kid, isn't it, Chaim? But that's 3.2. You could be at 2.8. Wouldn't make much of a difference. But I would definitely raise up my ISO. I would not be shooting at 200 of a second. And you got stung shooting at 200 of a second. Okay. Not pin sharp. Oh, excuse me. Bit of fun there. Okay. Who's this? Esther. It's cute, but the place is terrible. It's really a bad. There's like
get them to sit down, and then you sit down, and you'll just have the wall.
Yeah, exactly. This wall is actually really cool. Yeah, but this is just very distracting. So like Yocheved said, I think that's a really good idea, is either get him to kneel down or something and just get rid of all of this in the background and then just concentrate on this very powerful perspective from the wall. And I think that would add something. But otherwise, well done. This is cute, Leia. This is very nice. Okay. Nicely cropped in, lovely energy. Lovely strong triangle over here as well. This line actually, what's the word? Echoes this line over here, which works really nicely. Gorgeous background as well. So well done. Okay, Razel, whatever. This is nice. Definitely what you heard. Raisler. Definitely would be nice if the kid was looking into the lens. Remember, to have your subject looking off camera, you need more of an expression to engage you than when a camera's looking. When your subject's looking into the camera, your subject can look like nothing and you'll still be engaged. Whenever there's eye contact, you're engaged. When your subject's looking off camera, then you need more engagement. You need more expression to get engagement. So otherwise, technically, this is great. This is like one of those pictures that's really technically clean.
It's got great formed light.
And exactly, and the light is very nice, and everything's technically very, very nicely done. But it doesn't have enough of a kind of neshama to like keep me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like it just all. If the kid was just with a little bit of a smile or something, or looking into the camera, it would just be a whole different level.
Yeah.
But otherwise, well done. That's cute. That's really nice. Believe me.
Sweet.
One rule though with newborn, well, it's with anyone, but it happens like with newborn, is don't have your subject like mummish horizontal. Always have them raised up a little bit. He is raised up a teeny little bit, but a little bit more I think would be
More like that. More tilted.
Like to edit. What you having?
Like more tilted.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more. Like you can even do it in Picasso just by using the straighten. Even by just like that makes all the difference. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but well done. Okay,
Sweet.
That's nice. This is SD from who we previewed before. Beautiful. Okay, this picture is completely at the side, but this is a little bit more. This is a little bit easier going, I think, than usual.
Because the kids are more moving as well, so it looks a bit more dynamic.
Yeah, and I also I think because you look at the kid's face and you're right, you can't really concentrate on the face because it's such a funny angle, but your eyes immediately go like that into the composition. You know what I'm saying? So actually, I think that's gorgeous. I really do. I think that's wonderful. That's one for your website. Actually. That's really a special picture.
So clean and white and lovely.
Yeah, lovely edit as well.
No. Totally unrealistic in real life.
Babies aren't like
babies being white and clean.
Like babies aren't like smelly and disgusting and like you saw Simcha the other day. He had like a plate of salmon and just like, such a nice piece of salmon, and he just like stuck it on his head. I was just like, why would you do that? Like, if you're not going to eat it, that's one thing. But like, why put it on your head? Anyway, he's 1.5. So if I could get away with putting salmon on my head, I might do that as well. But okay. Again, the straight thing, snap it photography. Rivka, remember, if we've got straight lines, make it mummish straight.
I think this is a hard one because now when the floor's straight, then the ceiling's not aligned. Yeah, you're right. The floor comes first.
That was but I'll tell you what, very important, Heaven, is you can have like endless amounts of lines in a picture, and somebody could be at a funny angle as well. So there won't be, if you make one line straight, then the other one, like it's classic with bad hooper construction. Yeah, I've seen this countless times when they made a bad hooper, which it just wasn't straight. So it was like if you got the top line straight, then the bottom would be wonky. Yeah, but saving grace is there's always a straight picture to be had. It could end up that no lines would actually be straight, but it's your mind's eye kind of averages out all of the lines. It's amazing how your mind does it, but it will average out all of the lines and it will feel straight. And then if you actually take out a ruler or a spirit level, you'll see that there's not one straight line, vertical or horizontal, in your whole composition, but the whole thing kind of looks straight because your mind adds them all together and divides them, etc., by the number. That's how it works. So it's even better. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I don't even look at sometimes you can, a lot of the times you can just find a straight line, but there's a lot of times as well where you can't find that line.
You just have to feel it.
Exactly. Just you feel it. Like I always talk about, not always, but I say that science is the art of measuring with numbers, and art is the art of measuring without numbers. That's what we do. We measure without numbers. That's what I think art basically is. Okay. Ellie Sheva. Okay, I'm not very into it's a little bit yellowy. And the light is a little bit flat. I think this is the kind of picture that would look really nice in sepia. I don't know if you've got time now to take it into, should we take it? Why not? Let's take this into sepia. Let me just do a quick sepia. Edit here, one moment. Okay, so sepia, as we all know, black and white. We can open up the shadows. We don't need to add any contrast. So open up the shadows a little bit, drop the texture down a drop, raise up the clarity a little bit. I'm going to crop in. And I might put the exposure down a drop, maybe drop the highlights a little bit more with the shadows. And now this is the trick for sepia. As we go to global, and then the magic number is 39, and we raise up our saturation to anything from 20 to 60, something like that. I think I'll go something like over here. Okay, and very important as always to put in the vignette. And we could go a little bit further, like patching around, but that's basically the idea. That's quite nice. That was a great.
Vignette's not too strong, or you can get away with it in sepia.
Yeah, I think the vignette. I think what might be good is if we just went like that. There we go. No, I would go with the strong vignette for that
because it's a sepia old style sort.
Yeah. So I think that really made it like the coloring here was just a bit, you know, and I think that's really special. I think that really is very nice. Okay, onward. Okay, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. That's cute. A wider aperture, give yourself a quicker shutter speed, even though you did quite well. You did, yeah. You still got a little bit stung. 200th of a second. What would you say, Yocheved? Or let me ask everybody this. What do you think the chances, I thought about this quite a lot, what do you think the chances are of getting a sharp picture at a 200th of a second? Go on, Yocheved, come up with a percentage in your mind. Don't say anything yet. Let's see what the Chevra says.
I've got my answer.
What are the chances? I got my answer as well. What are the chances of getting a sharp picture?
Low. Russell says low.
Unlikely.
It's not a percentage.
We want numbers. Ladies.
We're doing science now, not art.
A percentage. Depends if you use
75.
75% of not getting it sharp. Kid isn't moving, it's fine. No. 50%. Okay, what 80, do you say?
25. I'd have said 50.
I would say 50 as well. I think it's 50-50. If you're at 20, if you're at a 200th a second, I give you a 50-50 of getting a sharp picture. At a 60th,
which is really not good enough.
No, absolutely not. Pardon me. At a 60th of a second, I would give you about a 15% chance of a sharp picture, assuming you're using like a 50 to 85 millimeter lens. But anyway, Sandy, good energy moving in, nicely balanced. Definitely crop off a little bit at the top. Don't think we need that space at the top there. Something like that. Otherwise, well done. Oh, that's terrible. That is absolutely rubbish.
You know it's mine.
I'm just joking. I saw that one before. Yeah, that was really, really well done. I saw that and I thought, wow, I wonder where she got the idea to take a picture like that. Yeah, that really is really, really well pulled off. Very intimate. The lighting is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely
I tell you
beautiful.
the truth, I came out, did not edit this. I did the tiniest crop and that was it.
That really, really well done. If you drop the texture a little bit, that would add a little bit to the picture, I think. But as it is, it's really well done. That's really sophisticated, intelligent, professional photography. Well done, Yocheved. That really is
Thank
great.
You.
Well done. Onward. Sivia. Okay. Are we sharp? Sharp-ish. I think you're a little bit low down for this picture. I think it's very cute. I would probably try and do a little bit more of an interaction. I would probably have the big boy kind of lean his elbow on the little boy's, have his hand hanging down here. Just make it a little bit more cutesy. But otherwise, well done. That's well done. Okay. That's nice. Who's that? Baylor. That's good. See, the thing is that
I wish it was landscape.
Yeah, probably would be good landscape. What's annoying me a little bit is the energy of the little boy is in this direction. You see that little leg kicking up as well. The energy's slightly over there, but then we've got this thing over here, so it's a bit like kind of a bit confusing. Plus, we've got so much extra space at the top here. So I'm not so sure. That helps. That helps because now he becomes bigger. So our eye is more connected to him than falling off that way. But think carefully about this kind of thing. I think it'd probably be better if you used a wider angle lens, and if you came over this way and like had this in the foreground and him in the background, as opposed to them like kind of pulling you, like kind of contending with your attention, to have them kind of more like working with each other. But otherwise, stats are okay. Stats are well done. Good shutter speed, and you did well with your focus. Good stuff. Okay, Malky, that's cute. Nicely done with the light. The light is
cute expression there.
Yeah. I think that is really nicely done. I think I would crop in a little bit, something like that. Okay. But yeah, I think that's really special. I think I'd add a bit more of a vignette, but overall, really well done. Beautiful, soft, dreamy kind of image. Good stuff. Okay, Razy, this is cute. We saw this one before. Not pin sharp. Okay, stats are okay, but I love it when my students are using these kinds of cameras because it just, they're using an EOS 1300D and you're still getting these really powerful, good pictures. But nicely, nice use of this little prop, and I think these lines of this bench actually add quite a lot of power. So well done. Might be an idea to crop in a little bit this way. I think I'd probably go for that crop, but well done. Okay, who's this? Nachman Sibag. Okay, this is the kind of image where having a flash would really make a big difference. You really need the light, like the kind of light on his face here is just a little bit.
It's too sweet. You want it more dynamic.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit kind of low energy. One thing I think also this little box at the bottom is quite a bold, not quite, it's a very bold shape that really does pull your eye. So probably having put his leg up here, and that would break this box a little bit, and then crop in as well, and then that box would stop being such a distraction. As it is, in my opinion, that's quite a distraction. Oh, that's cute.
That was it. Is it?
Amazing.
Or is it Photoshop?
I would imagine it's Photoshop.
It's the same kid.
What?
It's the same kid.
It is the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same kid.
There's no information as well.
You could do that. I'll tell you, I did it years and years ago when I was like practicing all new stuff at weddings. What you can do, which is really good fun, if anybody wants to take a picture like this and send it to me, I'd love to see it, is if you take a tripod, okay, go somewhere, take a tripod and take multiple pictures of somebody standing here, standing there, standing here, standing there, standing there. If you use a tripod, you can make such a cool picture, and it takes like, just in Photoshop, you just quickly erase where he was in the next picture.
Or like just the whole family portrait of one person.
Exactly. It could be really, really. I did it with the Chos. I did it a few times. I did it one time with the Chosin before anyone was there. The main head table. I put the tripod down, and there was like 5 places at the table.
Like each in a different pose.
Exactly. So the first one is like this. The second one is like this. The third one is like this. And the fourth one is like lying out flat. And it was really, really fun. So this is the same kind of idea. So this is cute. I would like to have more of a, if I did this, I'd personally probably copy this image and have a more engaging one in the middle, but otherwise well done. That's beautiful. That's really well done.
Wow, look at that hair.
It's really special. Okay, there's a little bit of a green tinge. I'm not sure if that's in my Picasso, but I love what you've done with the hair. The beautiful little girl. I would soften the skin a little bit more, maybe add a little bit more rosiness to her cheeks. It looks like you have added some rosiness. I'm assuming that the color is probably bad on my computer. Let me see. Maybe we'll do it justice by taking it into Lightroom. No. The green. It's a little bit greeny. Like I think what I would do is I'd go to the HSL saturation, and I would just take down a little bit of the green. Did that do anything?
There's something a little bit funny in the colouring. But maybe she's just wearing lipstick. Lips look a bit orange. Unless she added saturation with a brush, and it's sort of too.
Yeah, it just feels that there's a little bit of a green there. There isn't green because you can see I'm going crazy with the green and nothing's happening.
Yeah, there's something in the lips, all orangey tinted.
Maybe that would add a little bit. If we just there we go. I think that's. Look at the difference from here. That did it. There we go. I changed the hue of the orange and the yellow. You have to desaturate there a little bit. But do you see what I just did? Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Just very slightly, but that made a difference. But that's really, really beautiful. Very good, Gitty. Very, very, very special. Really, really special. Gorgeous. Okay. Hanny, that's cute. That's nice and powerful. Good energized picture. Black and white would be great for this shot, but well done. Oh, a 30th of a second. But the fact is, because you're at such a wide angle, you can actually get away with that. You can get away with that. But black and white would probably be a good option there. Okay. That's cute, but it's a bit. It's like we saw in some other pictures, not quite enough to look at, and there's too much space. So if Dad was over here, we cropped in close, and we had like a funny moment like that, then it would be.
Also, have him maybe looking at Mum, and that would sort of tie him in more. With her hand on the other cheek.
Yeah, I hear that. I think though, what would be better is if Dad was like over here and we cropped in like very close kind of thing. That would make the whole thing. There is also like a good idea to have like just the bar mitzvah boy looking and then Mum and Dad looking at him as well. You can do either way, but still, well done. Who's that? Julia, well done. Okay, that's nice.
Wexler family. Oh, she said what her name was last time. I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
It's one of the people on the. It's just her family name.
Okay, so this is the kind of picture where a drop of flash would make all the difference. This is the kind of place where you just. This is as good as it's really going to get with natural light. But if we could have some flash on her face, just form the light, would make all the difference. But nice location, well framed as well. I would probably also have her. Firstly, she should put her hand over here, make it look a bit more realistic, but bring it round a little bit. The fact that it's poking out so much, it's much better to try and keep things more tight, closer together. Okay. Tammy, this is well done. Okay, that's nice. Okay, you can warm it up a little bit and crop in a little bit closer. I think 1 moment.
Well, are you going on to questions or are you finishing all the pictures first?
52, what's the time? Let's answer a couple of questions. Good idea.
Okay.
1 minute.
Please do.
So I have the. Oh wait, I need to bring up the questions. Here they are.
Sorry, you want to finish this picture first, or we'll go back into this one?
We'll go. Let's go to the questions for a minute, and then we'll go back, give my brain a little bit of a rest as well.
We will finish them, and we'll come back to the others.
Yeah, we will. Okay. So here are the questions. Okay, I didn't read these yet, so let's see. If I do not want to have a helper, is Flash still worth learning?
I'd say yes, learn it, and then you'll see it's worth having a helper.
Good. There you go. That was excellent. Yeah, that whole idea of not having someone helping you, I know it is annoying, but the benefits of it, believe me, I'm all for making your life as easy as possible, believe me. But the benefits of having having Flash and having somebody with you, I think far outweigh the hassle and cost of having to deal with that. What should I do if I understand everything about how to get a focus picture but just don't have a good enough camera and lens and can't afford a new one?
Fundraise.
So the only thing I can think of there is just go crazy in engineering the odds. Make sure that you are taking endless amounts of pictures to make sure that you just keep nailing the focus, because you will. The more pictures you take, the more the chances are that you'll get a sharp picture. So just go crazy. Take a lot of pictures, and you just delete a lot. It doesn't matter.
Stick to really well lit locations, because I find in the more rubbish cameras, it's the shutter speed that knocks them, because you haven't got enough light.
Yeah.
So at least get maximum light you can.
And also having light coming onto your subject as well is a nice thing. That's really adding on to what you have just said. I always get stuck with posing ideas. So that really does take a lot of experience to get really good with the posing. But the most important thing to do is, if you do get stuck with the posing, just fake it. Just like move, go somewhere else, spin them around, stand them up, sit them down, go and mess with them, like clean something, do their tie or whatever it is. Just keep things moving. And ideas come. And I mean, go through my websites as well, and you can see endless pictures of how to, and to have basic ideas like, there's obviously the standard family poses, and then there's the funky ones where you've got hands on each other's, or everyone's in their own thing with spaces between them and stuff like that. If you've got a bunch of different kind of concepts of ideas, like I said, standard, regular, funky, attitude, funny, if you can keep those kinds of ideas, then that's like whole categories that kind of open up when you get into it. How to make sure Flash doesn't spawn black background in a small room. I mean, it's just physics, and you need to just make sure it's flagged properly. So I don't know if you can see this, but let me just, can you, above me, do you see that? That is a barn door. So barn doors are excellent, and you can make a barn door quite easy yourself, but it's just basically physics and thinking. If you've got a black piece of card, that will stop the light, basically. What do you use to keep your light diffuser attached to your umbrella while traveling? I didn't get that. What do you use to keep your light diffuser attached to your umbrella while traveling?
They're stuck together.
What?
You mean the white?
I don't know. Okay. Photography has become the new hobby for girls my age and neighborhood in which I live. Woohoo! I started a little earlier on than everyone else, also taking it a slight step further by making it into a business. Should I make my prices cheaper since everyone is doing it for cheaper because they aren't so into it being a business yet, or should I leave my rates where they are now, meaning I get less customers often, but my sessions are more official? No, my advice is shoot cheap and take a lot of pictures and blow your clients away. Like I say to everybody, PPST. Okay, practice, portfolio, satisfied clients, testimonials. That is the key to your business. I mean, that's really the key to all businesses. But don't think about money right now. Shoot cheap, shoot lots, and make sure your clients get blown away. And very important thing to remember, a lot of people say, I've heard a lot of people say this, that, if you're shooting cheap, then if you want to like brand yourself really high, you can't do that. And that's absolute stuyot. You can literally change from a cheapy photographer to a high-level, sophisticated, expensive photographer in like 2 or 3 months with no problem whatsoever. You'd be amazed. But don't think that shooting cheap means that you now have to be a cheap photographer forever at all. It does not mean that whatsoever. So get the practice, get the portfolio, get the satisfied clients, and get the testimonials, and you are on track for a good business. B'ezrat Hashem. How to create a catchy logo. Business owners, my photography business stands out. Join the AMP and we will do that for you. I'm in the middle of taking your Flash Essentials course. I don't understand what I meant to do. The second shutter speed has to be also taken into account, meaning that I also have ambient light in the foreground, background of the picture. So in the mentorship program, we go through it. I explain that to you personally. I mean, I can't explain that to you in one leg, but I'll tell you, maybe Yocheved will appreciate this. We talk about the exposure triangle, yeah? That the natural light photography is about shutter speed, aperture, ISO. When we move to flash photography, that turns into the exposure square, yeah? Where we throw in also flash. But you really don't, you know what the truth is, Yocheved? You know what the real truth is?
Not really. You're switching out the flash for the shutter speed. Almost.
Well,
because you expose for the background and then throw in flash for the foreground.
Well, yeah, but what about when you've got ambient light in the foreground on your subject as well?
So you have to balance that out. You want to drop those so that it's lower, so that your flash.
You're right, but you've got in the whole picture. It's not like there's a part of the picture like this and part like that. There's these four elements that play out all over the picture. But really, when we talk about this exposure square, really, and only the people who are really like in it right now will understand this, but this is really true and it's very profound, is that really we're dealing with two images in one image. We've got the natural light, so the ambient light exposure triangle, and the flashlight exposure triangle, and they kind of superimpose on each other, and it's really cool when you get them clear.
They have to blend. That's the balance.
When you get exactly, but they can be literally on top of each other. Like you can have the ambient light and the flashlight in the same part of the image, but if your mind can have the two the two exposure triangles together and kind of interlace them on top of each other, you're in a very good place. But that takes a lot of practice.
That's like the old city shoots after the wedding.
100%. It's all about that. It's successful flash photography is, in my opinion, is about understanding what I just said very, very deeply. Okay, is anyone like me who feels uncomfortable taking pictures of men? I don't feel uncomfortable taking pictures of men. In fact, I feel more comfortable taking pictures of men than I do of women. You need to pose them. Is it even halachically permitted? Halachically permitted, I'm not a Rav, so I can't tell you that, but to the best of my knowledge, it is. You shouldn't have, you should still treat, if you're a lady, you should treat a man, if you're a lady, with a certain amount of distance. There should be halachically, there needs to be some kind of what's the word, healthy, like distance between you. Obviously no touching or anything like that, but I do understand it's very good that you feel uncomfortable taking pictures of men. That's a very noble thing.
I'll sometimes ask the wife to say something to her husband. I'll say, can you just ask your husband to put his hand in his pocket? And he hears me, obviously, but it just gives a bit of a, makes it not too direct. That's
good. Also, I'm like older now, so it's like I'm usually I'll refer to the ladies as Mrs. So-and-so, and the girls who are like my daughter's age anyway, so it's become a little bit easier, to be honest. But it's good that you feel awkward. You should. That's a very healthy thing. Why can't I picture that person? Because we're talking about portrait photography. What full lens is best for studio photography? You need a wide angle lens.
They're more expensive.
You get the 24-105, which is reasonably priced, but the 24-70 is very expensive. But I would probably recommend the 24-105. I very often misfocus on pictures, on photos. I'm pretty sure I have my technique down pat, and my shutter speed is always fast enough. My camera is also very good. Keep on the quality of my lens. Should I upgrade it, or is it a normal situation? Thanks.
Get it calibrated.
You could do that. I mean, you can also do what's called a micro adjustment, again, depending on your camera. Cleaned.
Sorry, I was having that. Yeah, I was losing
that,
focus with nothing wrong. All my stats were perfect. Yeah, it was really aggravating. I sent it in for cleaning, and wow, made a huge difference.
Wow.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Super sharp now.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that, Jared. There's also just maybe the idea of looking into the new mirrorless cameras. Well, not particularly new anymore, but they really are a whole different world in focus. When I do a photo shoot, how long should I tell my clients it will be ready for them? Is 2 weeks a long time? Should I try them try edit faster? Also, a 2 meter background, how many people can I take pictures at one time? So look, the quicker the better. Okay, I'm now in a position in my business where I'm a bit more, I call the shots a bit more. So I give myself 30 days, but I still try and have the pictures back within a couple of weeks. But yeah, the quicker the better, and you're not doing yourself any favors by making it drag out. Like I said, the quicker you get them back to your clients, the better it is. 2 meter background, I don't know, maybe you could maybe take a family of 5 smushed together. I'd love to take your ZTP masterclass if I can afford it, but I noticed that you work mainly with Canon cameras. I'm using Sony. Would the cost be worthwhile to take without too many issues with the difference between the cameras? Absolutely. Really, it's a very the differences are actually very small, and we're really teaching you photography. Although we use Canon, that's true. We're teaching photography, so that goes with all cameras. When you say if a session has gone on too long, even if I haven't got all the main pictures because client was late or kids not behaving, etc. So you should try and make sure that doesn't happen. You can't you need to make sure the main pictures, in my opinion, are the full family picture, the kids, mum and dad, and then each kid individually. Okay, that's I would not let a session finish until I at least got that. That's my thoughts on that question. How do I set up a backlight for indoor photography? Should I shine the light on the background or on the subject's hair? On the subject's hair, and use some kind of flag blocking the light from spilling onto the background. I just was the email that is being another webinar. Looking forward. Great, that was easy. Help! I still think my photos perfectly sharp. Is it me or the camera or both? I use camera with T6, probably the camera, and pretty much know how to set everything correct. Camera, the T6 is a very annoying camera. Although you can take nice pictures with it, but it's really the T6i, the T7i. They were big improvements on that camera. And focus is the big issue. Does it make sense that when I shoot on RAW, the pictures have dots, pixels? Yeah, you have to soften and denoise. Is that a word, denoise? I think it is. You have to denoise the pictures when you shoot in RAW. Okay, back to the workhorse. I just want to get myself a quick glass of water. Just bear with me. Yocheved, you can keep everyone.
I'll entertain everyone.
For a minute.
I have to quickly think of another joke. I actually had one the other day, but I've forgotten it now.
You can tell the bicycle about the guy with the whiskey.
Oh, that's a good one. About the guy riding a bicycle across the border every day.
About what?
About the guy riding a bicycle across the border every day.
Across where?
Across the border.
No, that wasn't the joke. But go on, tell me that joke.
And they were sure he was smuggling whiskey. And every day they searched him. They checked his basket and they checked his knapsack, and he's like, no, I don't have anything. And they were just waiting to catch him. Anyway, weeks went by, and eventually the border guard says, look, okay, I give up. I know you're doing something. What are you smuggling? And he said, bicycles.
That's great. That's really good. That's really good. I like that one. I'll tell you, this is my favorite joke. My favorite joke. When I told this to my dad, I thought we were both going to die. To be honest, we laughed so much. But the story of the guy who went to the liquor store to buy a bottle of whiskey on his bicycle, and on the way out, he went to put the bottle of whiskey in the basket on front of the bicycle. And he looked at the whiskey in the basket and the bicycle, and he thought to himself, this is really stupid, because if I fall off my bike, I'm going to end up breaking the bottle of whiskey. So he decided to drink the whiskey first. And he said it was a good idea because he fell off his bike 7 times on the way home. Anyway. Okay.
One thing, Javi missed the question. Her question was, how do you protect gear in the rain? And do you use different settings in the rain?
Well, when it's raining, I'm always thinking about backflash, because backflash is really cool in the rain. If you're using a professional camera like a 5D or 60 Mark II even, not so much the Rebels and stuff, then you don't really need to worry about the camera getting wet.
Really?
Yeah, not really. But you do need to worry about the lens getting wet.
So you keep it down.
Exactly. So the camera should always be held down, and you try and cover it as much as you can. But that's the main. I'm not worried about the camera, especially with the 5Ds. They're very robust and basically watertight. But just make sure that the camera is pointing downwards. Okay, Bella. This is the light needs to be more formed. You need the flash coming more from the side. Pardon me. And another thing that we said before to other people is this in the background is distracting very much from our subject. Okay, if you move forward a little bit this way, then her face would end up in the middle there. Very, very important. Okay.
Otherwise, it's so nice. Yeah.
What?
Otherwise, it's so lovely.
Yeah, it is lovely. It's lovely. Lovely
just got
smile,
a bit distracted there behind her face.
Exactly. Well, that food looks so yummy. Okay. This is nice. This is well done, Adina. I like the edit. Actually, it's like a cross between like a selenium and a sepia, like a bluey sepia, which is really cute. The light on her face is nice. The stats are good. Stats are very good. You've done well with the focus. That's really well done. Really well done, Adina. Good stuff. Okay, good, gorgeous. Who's that? Hanny, going from strength to strength. That's beautiful. Fresh and alive. Lovely, sharp, gorgeous picture. This bit here isn't particularly attractive, but I think you made up for it with this in the background. But really like lovely and just full of life and vibrant. Really lovely shot. Stats, you could be at 1.8, and then you could save yourself some ISO or something. But otherwise, well done. Okay, Esty, we saw this again. This is also beautiful. Now, this is a great example of where the head of the baby is now moving upwards, which makes a big difference. Okay. And the just everything about this is nice and soft. I think it could be softened a little bit more and maybe added a little bit more brightness, like to make it a little brighter and to add maybe like a white vignette or something like that. Otherwise, well done. Okay, that's cute. That's nice. Potentially crop in a little bit like that. Okay. Nice and sharp. Stats are perfect. Absolutely perfect. Color kavod. A nice, cute pose. To bring back a little bit of detail on the white skirt would be nice, but wouldn't make much of a difference. But lovely, strong, bold composition. Lovely energy. Well done.
Really nice.
Okay. That's nice, but the angle of the baby's face is a little bit annoying. No, definitely not like that. Well, she's going to get dizzy. Sorry. I think that's better. I hear where you're coming from, but I think all you needed to do is if the baby's face was turned this way a little bit, as opposed to facing this way, it would make the picture a lot more comfortable for the viewer. But otherwise, I think it's beautifully lit. It really is. And you found a lovely. We've got lovely textures here. She's beautifully wrapped as well. We've got this lovely bold shape with the with the nice,
really nice
brown texture in the background. Really good stuff. Good stuff, Yocheved. Okay, that's gorgeous. Very good, Mrs. H. Gross.
Wow, very sweet.
Stats, a bit wacky. Oh no, but you're in a studio, so I suppose that makes sense. Be careful these hairs.
Flash, yeah.
Be careful these hairs. Yeah. So important. So important. But there really is a
That's distracting, even though it's nowhere near the eye.
Well, no, but it just even you're right. You can't. Yeah, it is. It is distracting, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to impress upon it because even though here it doesn't make such a difference because you're not so in, but just it's just important to get into that habit of just making sure you drive yourself nuts over the hairs, because in this case it wasn't a disaster, but in other cases it can be.
I'll see them now. I didn't see it when it was zoomed out because it doesn't get all the detail.
But you can see. I mean,
I see now. It's coming all the way down.
It's just a good habit to get into, to make sure that you're getting rid of that. But otherwise, the light's gorgeous, the pose is gorgeous, the background is really nice and sophisticated, really well done.
Beautiful lighting.
Yeah, good. Who's that?
Cute.
Taylor.
Nice studio work.
Yeah, this is nice. A little bit, the light is a little bit messy. One very important thing here is that the light should always be coming a little bit above. You can see this shadow means that the light's coming basically from on level, and it'd be better if it's a drop higher. Be careful when you've got like a putchy face, like a little boy like this. It would probably be better to have the flash come further around, so you don't have all this messy kind of shadow highlight mid-tone kind of area. That would be better, but nicely cropped in and still good, powerful picture. So well done. Good. Yeah. Okay, now this is a great example. Again, we're here. This is a little bit distracting. And what we do is, by cropping off a little bit of the top again, we, so to speak, add a little bit there, so that takes away that little sticky bit at the bottom. But otherwise, brighten it up a little bit. But otherwise, really well done. Stats are good. You should be at a higher ISO and give yourself a quicker shutter speed. Well done. That's gorgeous. Hanshi, that's well done. One thing that I would really be thinking about here is getting them behind to be completely covered by this. The fact that we can see this kid's legs, it would be better. The picture would definitely be better if this green was also over here and they were completely, you with me? They were completely surrounded by the greenery there. That would make the picture
be more depth of field going on.
It frame it, and it would bind the whole image together. The light's gorgeous. It's a lovely moment. You've done well with the focus. So good stuff. Okay, we're getting there. What's this? Javi. Okay, lovely light. Okay, background's a bit kind of whatever. It's not a disaster, but anyway,
it's just distracting.
Like that. Yeah, a little bit distracting. We could brighten up the boys a little bit, but at least we can see his face a little bit here, even though we can't see him. But the light is cute, and it's a nice, strong composition. Strong, bold triangle over here, so that's well done. Onward. Who's that? Ellie. Okay, so the depth of field is much too long, even though it's shot at 2.8. It's because you're at a wide angle. Cropping a little bit. This is all very bold and
as you lose him in the field.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else is a little too sharp. Definitely be better if we could blur that out. But well
even
done.
at 2.8, why? Because she wasn't zoomed in.
Because he's at 6.1 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's for like that camera, but that's because she's zoomed all the way out. It means it's very sharp. Okay, that's a nice picture, Bleemele, but it's not sharp. That is to do with your focus. You can see your focus is a little bit back. Okay, but a very lovely, a really lovely, like soft gaze, a really, really endearing expression. Just unfortunately, it's not sharp. If that picture was pin sharp, it'd be very, very special. As it is, it's a little bit.
I'm annoying. So glad she didn't put him in the middle of the tree. You can see she's loved photography.
Come on.
She used the tree for a bit of background dynamic, but she didn't put his face in the middle of.
What do you mean, like to have him like poking through the tree in the background? Oh, you're frozen.
The gap there. People are just. Oh, am I back now?
Yeah, wait, you said thank God she didn't put him with his face poking through there.
Yeah. That's what people do in the first lesson.
I didn't even think about that. My mind wasn't even.
Because we see it occasionally. So
no, you do.
Wow,
very that's lovely. That's really
very
well sophisticated. Done. Yeah. I would have her chin a little bit further down. It's a little bit higher up. I just put your chin and drop down. The light is gorgeous. That's really, really well done. And this sweeping
it's a natural
couch, these sweeping lines here, these are the kind of, this is what beautiful photography is made out of. These beautiful, bold, sweeping lines. I love that. That's really special. Could be that to pop in like this to get rid of that bookshelf.
Is that natural lighting?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful.
I think that makes a big difference. That is very distracting. Not very distracting. I think if her chin was a little bit down, yeah, that would add a bit. But that's a really nice shot. That's really well done now.
Yeah.
Very well done. Big thumbs up. Okay. Wowee.
I remember having one of those as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Terrible. They last for weeks.
Depends, I suppose. That's cute. Okay, this would be the kind of picture that it might make sense to make a black and white spot. But I think this is still lovely.
There's such nice colours. Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of those.
Lovely textures, the hair, the flowers in the hair.
And they both got really nice lighting. The one on the left is better, but how come the one on the right is still well lit? The sun's more overhead?
Well, yeah, but also probably the light is bouncing off of her face onto her
face.
Really? Well. Yeah, that for sure makes a difference.
Wow.
But that's really a lovely picture. It really is. I mean, obviously you'll do some more regular ones as well, but I think as it is, I think that's beautiful. Well done, Toby. Okay, power, Shandy. So again, this is the kind of thing, we've said this a couple of times today. Have we got anyone still with us? Wow, it's amazing how many people are stuck out.
Well, we're still on.
Yeah,
64.
Even I'm the one talking. I'm bored. Anyway,
they're just waiting to see their pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get a big head diamond there. So if this hand was here, and her face was in the back, again, the idea of having your background distracting from your subject means that you lose both. So I think this would be a good shot, but I think it'd be better if the fist was over here and the head
also
was
then
over
the
here.
Face as a background gives context, whereas now it's just
exactly
you.
Exactly. As the Gemara says, Zel lechud v'zel lechud. This by itself and this by itself. Okay, but otherwise, well done. Okay, again, be relentlessly particular in the precision.
So she did. She put the baby bang in the middle.
Yeah.
No, the baby is. I added the next one in without moving.
That's not the composition. So just be fanatically precise. You can't be too precise. Not to say sometimes you shouldn't be, you can be not precise, but remember, to break the rules, you need to know the rules. And the rules are...
And also not like this. Then you'd have them right on the side and have the thing in the background. If you're going to break the rules, then have them right off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No, but you can be like very natural, but very few people can pull off that like complete like Hefka kind of naturalness. There is this one guy called like Shmulilov or something. He keeps winning the ISPWP, the International Society for Professional Wedding Photographers competitions. He's a Russian photographer. He's like the least precise. His like photography is the exact opposite of my photography, but he's really, really good. Wow, really good. Okay, and finally, higher. Okay, we got you right at the end. This is cute, but what I would definitely do here is I would crop this off. This is really intimate and really intimate.
They're sharing a moment.
Yeah, they really are. So I would really crop in like that. I would also open up the shadows a little bit, but otherwise nicely done. The light here is beautiful. You've nailed the focus. Well done. Okay, that's it. I'm exhausted. It's amazing how much it takes out of you, the thinking. I was saying to my daughter was asking me the other day about how many calories you burn for like whatever. And I told her, and I say this is really true. When I do a very intense wedding, there's different kinds of weddings. Like if I'm doing like a very fancy wedding or like the color or the family are like very intense and like very on me and whatever, and I have very high expectations, then the pressure gets much heavier and I work harder. I literally work harder. And this is, I tell you this is the truth. If I start working early in the morning And I mean, I can start shooting at like, say 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and shoot all the way through until like 10 o'clock at night, or before I get to sit down for a minute. And I literally lose a buckle on my belt. My belt, I have to tie, I'm not joking, I have to go one buckle more, because otherwise my pants will be falling down, because you're using your brain so much. You also use your body as well, don't get me wrong, but you use your brain to such an extent, and your brain uses so much energy that you lose weight. Amazing. Imagine that, like learning Gamor, like with such a koyach, and actually losing weight from it. But anyway, lahavdil. So I'm exhausted right now, because you use your brain a lot when you're critiquing. Anyway, look, like we said at the beginning, we have this 60-minute sale that really began already, but no one knows that really. It officially begins in 15 minutes. Please just either sign up yourself if you're not already signed up, or call your friends and family and whatever and get them enrolled, and enjoy what it means to become a great photographer, because there really is a lot of pleasure in it. Otherwise, Yocheved, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nice to see everyone again.
Yeah,
well,
and
see their names.
Is Rivka still there? Rivka, you there?
The circle is still there at the top.
Yeah. So anyway, Rivka, thank you as always for being there. And thank you for helping out as always. And everyone else as well, thank you for being good sports, staying with us, and uploading your pictures and being a part of this really nice thing we have here. And
a reminder for next time, if you want your picture critiqued, you've got to send it in time. Yeah,
that means not 15 minutes before the class. Pictures stop. I download the first reminder. Minutes. I think that's pretty reasonable, no? Yeah. But anyway, okay. God bless everyone.
Well. Good night.
Cold.